over. Not going to talk about it.
You had a pretty good rant there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey,
And we're starting over.
we're starting over. Let's pretend. So, in our previous iteration, we spilled information we were unable to. It shouldn't have been said. I'm very sorry. Very classified information, and we won't do that again. So
I can say exactly what I'm allowed.
you're just gonna have to wonder about what it is, guys. That's the thing.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Be here Sunday.
Well, I can say I'm part of a jury.
No. It's their mystery, William. It
I'm
is.
allowed to say that.
No, it's their mystery.
He's allowed to
William.
say that.
It's okay. No, I understand that somebody here revealed the illegitimate child. We're not going to say who because we can't reveal that.
You're on the Blake Lively trial, huh?
All right, hold on one second. All right, so you brought what is the big fucking deal with this? I have been getting bombarded with information about this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is this and why do I care?
I don't
They
know.
were in the movie together, and I don't know why Ryan Reynolds was pissed, but I guess he just doesn't like him or something.
Is he a turd?
I guess so, or something.
Is his wife a turd?
Blake Lively is a turd, and like was taking control of the whole movie and was acting like.
Well, I saw that. You know, well, why did he get involved in it?
It's his wife.
Oh, that's
Okay.
And so I don't know.
Yeah,
I still
okay.
haven't read enough into it. I started trying to read one,
yeah.
and I just
You just didn't understand the nature. Okay.
I just gave up.
Because I have no fucking connection to this whatsoever, but it keeps popping up on my feed, and my feed is garbage. So here's the thing: is for it to actually wander into what I do,
It's garbage.
it means it has. Well, no, it's not just
Filthy.
it means that it's actually left its sphere of garbage. Like, say for example, like every now and then a story is so like
All encompassing.
say for example, like if I go back in history, go like to like the Casey Anthony story. You remember this name?
Wait, what?
No.
In Italy?
Okay. You guys, all right. This is a story of. Tell me if this one rings any bells. Okay. You got a woman. She's like 24. Okay.
Okay.
Her child goes missing.
Oh, this one. Okay.
And
It's not the rapey case in Italy.
it is not the rapey case in Italy. I
Got
know
it.
which one
Okay.
you're talking about there.
Yeah. That's not Casey Anthony, though. Yeah.
But this is the one where the kid goes missing for like a month. The mother doesn't report it.
Oh, right.
Right? She
Yeah.
doesn't report it. They eventually find the kid dead.
In interstate off Florida, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
At trial, she blames her father. Says her father killed this child. The father was not tried for this. That was just her defense.
Okay.
Right? Because there was no way the dad was going to be found guilty for this, but she said that the father did this. Even though...
Did he?
He didn't do this.
Oh, okay.
There's
Right.
no... but ultimately...
I remember the name. I don't remember the case.
Well, then this is why it was so weird, because that was the thing, was they had... The reason it got picked up was because she... eventually, after like a month, this other group started like looking into it and saying like, well, you have a missing kid. We should be out there looking for it. So these guys start pouring money into this search.
These aren't internet dudes.
No, it was like an
okay,
official
right.
like thing.
Sorry,
And-
I was about to go like in a direction that was bad.
Jack, totally understand. God bless you. The thing about this was they started asking questions. Said like, how long? They're asking parents, how long before your kids are missing before you start looking for them?
Less than 24 hours.
A lot of parents are like, if I haven't seen them
less
for
than
like,
5 hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, but it's been weeks with your daughter. Why haven't you contacted the police?
Right. Yeah.
And she gave a whole bunch of stories. Now, ultimately, this is a person that, very much like in like the JonBenet Ramsey case, everything points to her doing it, but she got off completely everything from start to finish. Right?
Well, like not found guilty or never charged.
She was not. She went to trial. She was not found. She was found not guilty on all charges.
Okay.
Including the things of like, isn't not calling in your kid missing for a month neglect. And they're like, nah, can't prove it. But anyway, this case was so big for a while, right? That even if you were just
like
in
late 90s or...
Oh man, this was I would say like 2010, 2011.
Okay. All right.
Right? The other one, I know the other one that you're talking about because it was the Italian one. There was like weird sex shit going on, which is why it would come up.
Yeah,
on,
but it was all based upon like being linked into like the Italian government or some bullshit.
there was weird stuff, but that ultimately it would cross over. That case was so big with just the weird things that went into it, where you're watching football and somehow this thing would come up.
Anyway, where were we going with that? Yeah.
This Blake Lively.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
So-
Is everywhere.
That's what I'm saying is it's getting barfed into things that I have nothing to do with. So, but I don't
Okay,
understand
got it.
it.
Yeah, you were watching football and all of a sudden you learned about Blake Lively. Yeah,
I thought that was his Ryan Reynolds' wife
that is Ryan Reynolds' wife.
because it's a weird name.
And there's a weird thing going on with like some, who is it, Baldoni?
That's the guy. Yeah.
Justin Baldoni.
And who is he?
Baldoni and Blake Lively were in a movie, that was out the same time as Deadpool, Wolverine, and I think somehow
Oh yeah, that's Nice Pool.
Nice
yeah,
Pool
right.
was supposed to be Baldoni. That's why he uses him as like a pincushion to get shot and was annoying the whole movie part of it. But they can't prove it.
Well, no, because he's not stupid. Yeah.
So,
But
but
yeah, the meta right now is that she took over that movie, and that's why they were promoting it separately, and it was two separately promoted movies,
yeah.
and half the audience showed up and said, "Well, I want to watch this," and the other half showed up and I want to watch this. And,
Something like that.
yeah, no, it's weird, man. So she got like a producer credit out of it or something like that.
I have no
Well, that would
idea.
be weird. That
It's
it actually
fucking whack. But anyway, it's turned into this like ginormous federal lawsuit.
And name calling and just
Yeah,
like,
and it's all bringing down Ryan Reynolds.
I don't think you can bring that dude down. I think there's no part of his life that he has to look at and say, "Wow, I messed this up." I think he's in a position where
I don't think he gives a fuck. Yeah.
yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, well, it's just still my wife. She can be mad at whoever. I don't care.
Right, yeah, she's got her own pet projects, whatever.
She does. People know her separately from me. That's cool. I own this part of this soccer team. I am still the representative for Mint Mobile.
I thought it was his company.
I don't think he owns Mint Mobile.
he
Oh,
might.
okay.
Maybe he does.
I think he does.
It wouldn't surprise me. Again, it's just an MVNO, so I mean that doesn't.
MVNO.
It's a piggyback
Phone
phone carrier, right? So you're not.
Oh, so he doesn't have his own towers and shit.
That would be some crazy shit. Like
Yeah,
if it
He
was.
had Deadpool towers.
That's kind of what I'm talking about here. So,
Okay,
so
all right,
T-Mobile does the work on his stuff. He just piggybacks on it and does basically like prepaid services on it.
Actually, I was talking to my brother tonight about T-Mobile and that whole fucking Starlink thing. How does that work? We were talking about it the other night.
Yeah.
So your phone doesn't actually have a Starlink capability for satellite in it, does it?
Yeah.
Your phone does.
Yes.
If it's a new enough model.
Correct.
Mine's brand new.
Yours is definitely on the list. You can go to the list that shows what phones are capable.
So that's actually got a Starlink capable port in it. It doesn't go from your phone to a T-Mobile tower and then to Starlink. It goes directly to Starlink.
Correct. Because,
Okay,
say,
alright.
for example, if you are in Estes Park,
Yeah, the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and there's not a T-Mobile tower anywhere near you.
going up.
It goes right up. Okay, all right. So,
Because there would be nowhere for it to rebound off.
well, I don't understand the technology, but he was fighting me back on this. He was like, "No, it's got to go through the towers."
No.
Okay, all right.
I don't know where he's getting that from.
Well, I don't know. I guess his assumption was that there was no phone that had a fucking mobile Starlink dish that was like the size of a pizza pan attached to it.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is
It's like,
Well, I don't know. I mean, dude, the guy works in a satellite, fucking, defense contractor. So I was kind
fair
of
enough.
curious.
I'll
yeah.
give you that, but I mean, so what I'll say on the other hand is like, okay, that's cool, that makes sense most of the time. But on the other hand, I also did work for the company, and I worked with the cellular
Correct.
technology and all that other stuff. So I mean, it's
So how does your phone have like a module in it that's like in the size of a phone, but I can only get a portable Starlink thing that's the size of a fucking pizza pan?
well, it's a different sort of. So it's like a different bandwidth that you're doing on this here. So I mean,
Okay.
you're. I don't want to say you're necessarily accomplishing two different things per se, but think about it. I'll put it as basic as I can. What is the? All right. You remember how on. Go back to the old phones that you used to have in your car. Okay.
Sure.
The ones that were built like a big ass walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and they had this big old pokey stick out of it. That,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing: is do they still need the pokey stick?
Well, I don't know.
They
I
do.
haven't had a satellite phone in ages.
Well, that's not a satellite phone necessarily, right? But ultimately,
Isn't Starlink satellite based?
it is. But
Okay.
even the phone in your kitchen used to have a big old pokey stick, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Your first cordless phone used to have a big old pokey stick.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So did we develop past the point of needing the pokey stick? It's like, no, we didn't. The difference is the antenna is inside your phone, right? It's actually a wire that goes around the
Oh, okay. All
the
right.
outside of it.
See, that
So
makes sense.
the equipment is still in there, and that's all it is basically it's an antenna that's acting as a receiver.
And so it's receiving satellite signals.
It's just a different way of receiving it, right?
Okay,
That's
all right.
it. That's
Thank you.
that's why. That's why. And this is
I was just curious, man, because he brought up a good point. He's like, "Well, where's the dish?" And I was like, "Arr."
don't need one.
"Yeah, okay."
Yeah, don't need, and that's the thing is like because it's what bandwidth. So how do radio signals work? Because all you're doing is think about. It's a radio signal that's happening to your phone. That's all it is.
Correct, yeah.
Right. The radio signal that worked with the television, that worked with the radio, that kind of thing. It's all about frequencies, right? That's it.
Yeah, sure.
It's all about low band and high band frequencies. And that's the frequency that's coming from these things, right? In the same way that your router has frequencies.
Yeah.
In case you've noticed, does it ask you where it says, like, do you want to use the 2.4 or the 5 gigahertz? The 5 gigahertz is faster, right? The 2.4 is
broad.
wider,
Yeah.
right? You can use that at a greater distance, but slower, right? That's all that's happening here is these satellites in particular also use that same kind of, essentially like Wi-Fi technology in that same way. So in the same way that you connect to Wi-Fi in your house, right? Your phone is essentially doing that from a greater distance with a satellite.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's why, so for example,
And that's why only the newer phones work.
because they weren't equipped to receive it in that
Got
way.
it.
Right?
Okay.
Until a certain point when they shared the technology and said, we're going to be putting these in air, in the sky. So if you want to use this technology, your phones will have to have this kind of
Got it.
this
Okay.
with the manufacturer. So they shared that with.
Is that something you had to opt into, or? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah,
No, it's
that's all with
definitely didn't
T-Mobile,
ask, yeah.
right?
they're actually letting Verizon do it right now too,
Oh, okay.
because they're letting them test it. But T-Mobile's the only one that has a contract.
So the only question is whether or not your phone is capable of receiving that, not necessarily what network you're on.
Well,
Well, in the future,
it has to be on T-Mobile or Verizon right now,
correct.
because you also your SIM card has to permit that.
And that's not something you opt into. It's just
If just there,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I
it's
thought.
just there, and if you're in a service area where that's not
See, I
there,
didn't think they'd advertise
over.
that during the fucking Super Bowl if they weren't serious about it.
yeah, and ultimately it's not that complicated. It's just that like for example, this is It's just in the same way, like if you remember on phones, yeah, where the antenna just started getting smaller, and then eventually you got to the little brick that didn't have one,
little like
the nub,
yeah, the nub.
yeah.
and then eventually it was just squared off with that because they built it into the frame, and that's why, if you remember a while back, there was one of the big defects around I think it was like the second generation iPhone, was if you put your hand in a certain place, it couldn't make phone calls, right? And what happened was it was an engineering defect where if you hold it that way, that basically was taking the antenna, right? And basically pushing it against like the wall. So it would essentially like short circuit out the antenna. So if you held it in this way,
just shorting it out with your meat.
it's just the tiniest bit of pressure, right?
Right. Got it.
And, so that was the thing. Apple at first was like, it's just like, you guys are making it up.
Stop hand fisting your phone, bitches.
And that was the thing is it's sort of like in play testing where if you send 500 people out with these phones and say test it, they're never really going to hold that phone in the same way where that would happen. You send it out to 15 million, 30 million people, eventually
you're gonna find that, yeah.
And you're going to find a significant number of people are actually doing this to where they say, holy shit, this is happening, right?
Right.
In the same way, like they had that same defect where iPhones were bending. If you remember pictures of these here, where it looked like they were bending. Again, it was something that average people couldn't recreate, but once they sent it out into the world, you were having people that had these tacoed iPhones because that was just the tech on it. So your brother has a good point, and that's the thing is a satellite can also receive those signals, and it's better at receiving those.
Correct.
Right? Because of the way it's built, their phone could do that too.
Yeah, so he's just over-engineering it.
Yeah.
It requires this, so it must meet this.
More or less.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Well, that's all. That's the whole reason. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Cool.
My phone had a digital SIM card.
Totally fine.
That was new.
They're cool.
I was like, I gotta pull out the SIM card, and then it's just like transferring SIM. I was like, whoa, okay.
It's kind of
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Are you still liking that thing?
It's fine.
What is it?
I got the newest phone, but I'm not using all the text, so it's
Oh.
the same phone.
Okay. Yeah, I use mine to listen to audiobooks and make phone calls. Or actually ignore phone calls. It's just...
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
I still pretty much answer.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I had to recently, as of today. I had to turn off the...
For your glasses, people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your what?
So did you get... Are they sending you a check?
Yes.
Are you donezo with that?
No.
Oh.
Did they... What was the excuse? They said they forgot? Or it's in processing? Oh, this is great conversation.
All right. So...
Jeff seems mad.
Oh, I was...
Are you ever going to use a coupon again?
No.
They try and send you a gift card.
No, I will never do this again. I had to... Again, I was on the call with people from, like, the top office because of how... Look, let me just put it this way. I know who the regional is. She hung up on me.
Whoa.
Wait,
She
is
straight
this
up...
with your current company?
This is for his eyeglass people.
This is for my eyeglasses, man.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I
Yeah.
thought these are people who pay you to write.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It does sound like something that would
Yeah.
You wonder, like, how the fuck
Jeff
does
has
it
a
get this
completely
far?
digital life, so I'm kind of curious.
Dude, I've never talked to anybody that high up. This is like the third company that you've talked to that high up.
To God. All right, so you know the original story. You know how they fucked up my
Yes.
prescription. You know how they couldn't get me to a doctor to fix the prescription.
Right.
Then it would be another like 10 days to get the fixed glasses, and that I went to the dudes over there right next to the T-Mobile and the pet food store and all this other shit next to goddamn Kohl's. They had me in and out of there in 9 minutes, minus the eye exam, which they did. You know, they're like, wow, they fucked this up. So that was pretty clear. So yeah, so after two managers called me, after the first one said like, "Hey, yeah, we'll just refund it on your card." So I'm like, that's where I was like, okay, that's fine. She's the one that talked to me. The other dumb bitch, she actually left a message. She's the one that said we're going to send a corporate check, right? I didn't get it. So I sent back a message to fucking, social media, said, I don't have your check. They said, hey, we're sorry. We didn't tell you when it was being sent out. So if you don't have it by the 18th, you're going to have to call the store, right? And as of the 18th, there was nothing there. So I sent them another message. Then I called the store. I called the store at 11 o'clock at night and left a message, which evidently they have a recording of. I was not too happy about it. And I let them know that you need to call me tomorrow morning and get this bullshit done.
You recorded this on the message?
Yeah. This made it to corporate. Everybody heard this message. So here's the thing is...
How much was the check for?
$222.
Okay. All right.
I mean, this is the thing. This should be peanuts. This should be the easiest thing on the fucking planet to take care of. So it's 11:35 in the morning.
Had you already gotten refunded on your credit card?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Because they have now told me, they said, well, we need to have your credit card to refund it. We didn't have to bring it to the store. I said, nobody said that. I live 2 minutes from your fucking store. That would have been easy enough. So 11:35 comes, nobody's called me. Right? I made it clear, you're going to talk to me this morning. So I called them, right? And I can't remember the last name of this jackass, Jim something. And call up and I said, like, I need to talk to Jim. So I was like,
Jim Jackass here.
I'll go grab his card. I don't give a fuck. I name names. I don't care. So I'm like, I need to talk to Jim. He needs to. She's like, are you? It's like, yeah, I called earlier. And she's like,
oh, sir, sorry.
man. And so the poor girl on the phone, she's like, oh, he's in a meeting. I'm like, not for long. You need to go talk to him. She's like, well, he's on a conference call. I'm like, and you're going to go interrupt it. It's like, you're going to tell him that asshole that left that message is on the phone because he didn't call me this morning. She's like, are you? It's like, go do it. And so she leaves and she comes back.
I'm enjoying this too much, man.
She leaves, she comes back, she said, okay, so I talked to him. The regional manager is going to call you in 10 minutes. Like, 10 minutes? I'm like,
I'm starting the clock.
I'm like, that means 11:45. She's like, yeah, she promises she'll call you back in 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, I will be
10
here.
Minutes.
I will call you back in 10 minutes if I don't hear from her. So she calls back in 9 minutes.
Oh, nice.
I have to give her credit. Okay. Now she had an attitude. She had a fucking attitude with me. Right? And the thing was, first and foremost, she said something like to the tune of harassing my employees.
Were you?
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Because here's the thing is, I've made it patently clear. No employee at that station has received any bit of guff from me at all. As a matter of fact, the employees have received nothing but universal praise for the bullshit that they're going through. Right? But this woman, and I'm not gonna say her name. I have it. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna bother her on social media later. This is I found her fucking LinkedIn page, and if necessary, I mean, like, I'm not gonna harass her on it because I'm not gonna say that out in the open, but I'm gonna wait and see if that actual title changes, because I ended up talking to the fucking people from corporate, right? And that's the thing is, this fucking bitch. Okay, when she gets into this thing about this check, I'm like, so why was that the decision in the first place? Who made that call? Why would you do this? Is this your area that this all happened in? She's like, because this is your region, isn't it? She's like, yeah. It's like, so the initial problems that all stem from this come from your mismanagement from the start, doesn't it? So why are you talking down to me? Your problems is like, you have two jobs. You have two jobs that comes on. You have two jobs. Either get the glasses right or give the fucking money back. And why have you not allowed your employees to do those?
Did you say give the fucking money back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We were cursing at each other by that point.
Yeah. Okay.
She was cursing at you?
Yes.
I would curse back at you. We see you in court, motherfucker.
And that would have. Here's the thing. That would have gotten even worse. Because from this, ultimately, here's the shit that went down. That's when I called the corporate office. I told them about it. Okay. The girl on the phone. Okay. She's like, look. So here's what these dumbasses didn't tell you. Okay. If they're gonna cut you a check, okay, which you haven't gotten, right? We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. They should have taken care of your card that day.
Yeah.
Right? That was the first thing. It's like, and you weren't mad at them at that time. It's like, no. I was just saying, like, we get this taken care of. Because I have to go somewhere else and get my glasses done. Right? Give me my money. Right? Totally fine. But that should have been happened that day. If they wrote you a corporate check, they should have given you a tracking number. They didn't. The person who, the asshole that you talked to, okay, that hung up on you, right?
The regional gal or Jim?
The regional guy. I never talked to Jim.
Oh.
Here's the thing. Jim was on sabbatical the whole time. This is the problem. Jim was on medical sabbatical.
And this is why the store had no manager.
This is why the store had no manager, which is why I told her, I was like, so when a manager's not there, what do you have to do? Sandra, what do you have to do when a manager's not there and you still have employees there?
Give them contact to a different manager that can handle stuff that needs management.
That's correct. You either have to give these people the authority to do the manager's job, or you have to have people in charge. And I said, like, so these stores are under your jurisdiction, right?
You gotta find coverage.
Why aren't these people handling this? And why are you yelling at me for pointing this out? So I found her dumbass picture on fucking, LinkedIn, right? And she looks exactly like the bitch. She's like nose ring and all. I'm like, all right, fuck it, you goddamn like loser Biden voter. Like, fuck you. So this whole thing here, like, she goes nuts on me and she's like, you're not gonna blah 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 blah. She hung up on me. Said that she was canceling the original corporate check since it hasn't arrived and will overnight it to me. And she lost her shit when I said, now when you say overnight, do you mean this overnight? As in today is this day, tomorrow morning is when it will arrive. And then she goes like, I know what overnight means. I'm like, I don't think you do. Confirm for me that when you send this, it is going this overnight so I can expect it tomorrow morning. Over one evening, can you guarantee one night's shipping? Is that possible? Can you do that? Right? Now, so...
How are we related?
I'm sorry, man. There's only so much, like... There's only so much fuck-uppery that I can take. And, like, when she hung up on me and I got this stuff, I was like, look, so here's what's going on. I'm like, I'm not going to play act. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was, like, so there I was minding my own business, right? I'm not going to pretend that I was a nice guy with these people. Like, but what I'm going to tell you is, here's where you fucked up from minute one. And here's how, if this is her job to manage the region, she shouldn't be. Right? Because I'm going to tell you, the nice lady that answered the phone from customer service was like, I asked her, I said, does the regional manager make more than you? She said, considerably. I'm like, they need you in Colorado so badly. You need to be not in that phone at Georgia.
I'm in Chickamauga.
Yeah. It's like, you need to not be on that phone in Georgia, and you need to be running these stores here. Because she actually says, like, okay, well, if we do this with this check, which we never should have done, you get a tracking number. I will make sure that you get that, right? Like, that's not hard. I just have to call this person and they'll get it. I'm like, that's amazing. Why do you think this person wouldn't give me that? Why is that difficult? Was it hard for you to do? It's like, no, not at all. It's like, then why do you think that Sandra wouldn't do that? Is she dumb? Do you know her? And so, yeah, this is the thing. It's like, this is fucking ridiculous. You people are lost your mind. And again, this is the shit where I'm I'm breaking it down for the lady at corporate, right? She's like, I can't believe this. Like, I'm telling you, like, look, I'm not doing this because I'm upset and I need to vent on somebody. I'm telling you because.
Are you sure about that?
Wouldn't have said it, Pat, if I didn't.
Yeah, you're trying to go out there and reform an entire corporation based upon the fact that, they done fucked up one thing. So.
Oh, they done fucked up one thing. Okay, that's it. Yeah, nailed it. Perfect.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. Am I wrong about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Clearly. But no, that's
What's the other company you went all the way to corporate with?
Exactly.
The other company I went to corporate with was the insurance company.
Which one was that?
Was it? I thought it was something smaller.
No,
No.
it was the insurance company.
Oh, for the fence?
No,
Oh.
it was for the RV. There was, I can't remember the whole details on it, but it was a pretty severe fuck up where it was like, it ended up being like a lapse in coverage and like a problem because somebody did something they really, really fucked up. Where it was like, this is covered, this is not covered. And it ended up causing me some, like, I don't want to say like legal heartbreak, but there was a big deal that went along with it.
Could have been, yeah.
I don't remember the whole story.
I thought there was something.
Yeah, this is, yeah, it's like, I'm not here just to like get out my emotions. Like, look, you fucked up and I know that bitch is going to lie to you. Right? So, whatever the story is, I'm just going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what I said. I'm going to tell you what she said. Right? Like, I know you guys don't have that phone recorded because this is, like, it is what it is. And she's like, oh, this is the stream. It's like, that is all under her jurisdiction. She's like, this should have never become an issue. They should have taken care of you here, 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 and here. Like, all right, well, guess whose jurisdiction all of here, 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 and here is. So when we're done here, who do you need to talk to? It's like, yes, I do. And that's where I'm coming from. And she said, listen, I don't know if we can, change your, opinion about things. I'm like, look, all of you did great work. Okay, you got to understand is just because those people that work at the store look like they've been through World War I and II, okay, that's because they've been handling shit like this whole time, right? Because nobody's had their back. And they said to me that they don't have the authority to do these things, right? And the same thing goes with you talking to me, this person, like, all of you have been super awesome about what you're trying to do. But where's the choke point where everything's going wrong? So that's what we talked about. Woo! It's not supposed to be like this, Will.
Vastly different method. I'm the one that uses honey to try and solve.
Stop with that. Because I didn't go in with that perspective. It takes a long time to go past honey and niceties with me, William.
Well, no, you were already there once. And I get it. Once they gave you Jim's number and it went to the store, I'd be a little irritated.
Right. Because at that point, that's not a solution.
But I can't talk to any human being that can solve this. Yeah, I get it. But
that does not. Here's the thing. I don't go in hot. This is the misconception here. Is the only time I go in hot is when I see fucking strangers walking around my backyard with safety vests.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I went in hot at that point. But yeah, the rest of this here is like, I don't know if you've seen me with actual like customers and people at desks.
You do
I think
great.
Patrick can attest to this.
Yeah, you do great.
I'm the nicest human being that you'll ever see.
Almost too polite.
That's correct.
Yeah. Almost like creepy polite.
he got that
say
at the
so,
rig a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's polite.
It was extreme.
And it's genuine polite.
A little.
So you have to...
It's a little out of place in the oil field.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I also leaned into it after a while.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, well, if you say it's creepy, it's like, well, let me double down on it. It's already my reputation. So yeah, that's the thing is like when you get to when you cross the line, you cross the line, and once we're there, and that's just how it's going to be. and I'll take things as far as they need to go.
I never get to corporate.
That's all it goes. I mean,
You get her done.
you make it clear to somebody. It's like, yeah, I'd come back to your store if it wasn't being managed by this person.
Would you?
Yeah.
I would not.
Yeah, I think that's a...
No, I'd go find another provider.
Well, I already did. But that being said, would I go back to the store if it was under different? Yeah, of course.
Just because they're 2 minutes away?
Yes.
Yeah, that might be true.
Well, they are right there.
Right.
Right there. I'm telling you, and it's nice because it's a non-traffic drive. You basically go through a residential neighborhood to get to a big shopping center. It's beautiful. I didn't even know it was that. There's a place over there called the Chiba Hut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you been there?
No, what I've heard about it, I heard it's great sandwiches.
Great sandwiches.
Yeah.
They're stoner losers that make it. I mean, that's the no. Well, that's their.
Well,
that's
their... Yeah, the
yeah.
way they advertised.
That's their whole decor. That's everything.
What does Chiba actually mean?
I don't know.
It's a weed-based...
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So it was like 420 pizza.
Something like that.
I know I'm boxed in by it. It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, you go in there and yeah, it takes them 20 minutes to make a sandwich. How's the sandwich? Is great.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that there's actually good stuff just right there, that's fantastic. And I don't even have to cross powers.
No, it's on this side.
It's on Rio Vista.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Another sad news. R.I.P. to the Captain D's.
Yeah,
What happened?
it's gone.
Where was it?
It's like right before...
Is it the first in the great fast food lowest
Casualties.
lowest pay?
Oh.
Were they manning the bilges?
Well, the last time I was there was, so I'm going to tell you, it was summer.
Okay.
I was the only person in the drive-thru.
It is a pain in the butt to get to.
It's hard to get to, but this was at 2:00 in the afternoon. I understand that the lunch rush, quotes, is already over, but there should be someone else in the drive-thru at 2.
Yeah. But it is a horrible location.
The worst.
It is.
It's
Where is it?
So it's on this side of Powers.
Okay.
If you're coming south, it's before Barnes. But you have to take Barnes
Yeah.
to get in, and then you don't go into where all the shops are. You have to go up like 3
By the car wash up there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
And it's just sitting up on top of the
Why
hill.
would they build it there?
It's a bad spot.
Right.
Yeah,
question.
okay, all right.
Because you can actually see it from
Yes.
Powers, but you just can't get to
You
it.
have to drive by like 3 other places to get there, right?
Yeah, and you
Correct.
have to guess where you're going. Like, you're like,
Okay.
oh, I want to get to there, and then you turn in, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go into the parking lot that has all the other restaurants and stuff, and you're like, I can't get to it. Well, fuck it, I'm just going to go.
Well, there's like a sushi place like right there's all this stuff. It's close enough. The thing is, the drive is close enough that if you were doing it with GPS, it would tell you to turn in places that you can't and say your
Possibly.
destination is already here.
Possibly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just like, you know what? I just want something just terrible
Greasy.
for me today.
Yeah, driving to Canes.
I want all those extra little crumbles. And I was just like I drove by it and I was like, wait, I could have swore it was right there. And I was like, yeah, it was right there. And then I turn and I get in and I'm like, it's just like a blue shell. I'm like, oh,
It's a husk.
it's done.
It's been shelled.
Oh my gosh.
And it has that when a place like that closes down because of that distinct look, it's the same sort of like it's like the red tombstone of an old Pizza Hut.
Yeah. You know, that one down on Powers is still there. So by
By
the
Kmart.
The Kmart is now an industrial like fitness complex.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seems like a perfect
It
use
is
for that
absolutely
building.
fucking packed full of cars in the parking lot every day now. So where it used to be like, okay, this is where you get like maybe a decent, you know, fucking like half dozen tamales, and you might get jacked.
Right, right. Or
So-
you were going to the Daylight Donuts.
Is that still in there?
I believe so, because I saw.
Ah.
I don't think they moved, but I have seen that rooster around.
I don't know.
Where it's the
Like
weirdest
everything
logo.
else back there is gone.
Because the
I mean,
rooster doesn't say cock-a-doodle-doo. The rooster says, good.
He might have moved to some place where they don't get robbed quite as frequently. I'm not sure. So
I can't tell you. Well, if it's was Ed's Cards and Comics still there?
no, it's long gone, long gone. The same thing with the pool hall and all that stuff. It's now like a sound shop. Yeah, the
Well-
Radio Shack is long gone.
I went to Dale's and I was gonna buy.
Dale's is still open.
It's
Yeah.
still open, and I wanted to.
Is it hanging on by its fucking fingernails? Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to buy.
This is not television, guys. You didn't see the face there.
I went to buy because I still have Santa buy us a gift each year, and so I go buy me a gift from Santa.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get me like a Jokic rookie card.
Okay.
And so I went in there, and I was
Yeah.
just like, where's your singles? I was like, where? And they go, we don't have them anymore. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we whatever's left is all we have left of singles, so that's all we got. He's like, I was like, you guys don't open packs anymore? He's like, nah. I'm like,
Really?
dude. So
Did you guys like talk about the old days and shit?
No,
Oh,
I didn't care.
No,
But
I
yeah,
think they
it,
were like 16. They wouldn't know that.
no, I was just like, wow. So yeah, it's just boxes, and then
Was Dale still there?
The old man Dale.
Well, Dale was the guy that. Well, so there were two guys in
I think I
there.
remember what he looks like.
Dale. Okay, so you had the one dude that looked like comic book guy. He had the ponytail and everything.
Okay, that's what I
That was
thinking.
not Dale.
Okay.
Dale was the other guy that wore like the Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He had a beard.
Yeah.
He would have a beard sometimes. Sometimes I saw him fresh faced,
He had a
but
ponytail though.
no, that was comic
Oh,
book
that was
guy.
comic book guy.
Yeah.
And he was fat.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was exact. I was like, when I saw that character, I was like, oh, y'all know,
You guys know Dale's.
because he was a dead ringer. But yeah, Dale was the other guy. He was the taller guy with the.
Yeah.
He did not wear the beard that often, but he wore like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. I guess eBay's just killed him.
Oh, singles.
Because yeah, if you were gonna buy a single, why not just shop on
Yeah,
eBay?
exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's evidently there's no need for either like Wizard, Overstreet, or Beckett's at this point because
Just price it.
No, yeah,
Like,
you
it's
just Google
selling.
it.
Yeah.
well, it's not even Google. It's like, what do the completed sales on eBay say?
Right.
Yeah, because that's the
That's
value
what it's
that-
worth.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, oh, I was like, is there a place in town where you can buy singles? He's like, I doubt it.
It's called eBay.
I was like, wow, okay.
Were they still selling like packs and stuff? Though?
Yeah, they got packs and then comics and stuff, and they got it. It looks the same. It looks run down, kind of.
Well, they still have that like painted like Elway on the wall and
No, I don't
Like
think
the goofy feet. Yeah.
I don't think that.
Well, the big head.
there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't there anymore. But yeah, it's got all the figures just up on the thing.
on the outside.
No,
No,
that was all remade.
No, that's all
Oh.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
It has
one,
been for
yeah.
10 years at least. Yeah.
So I was just like, huh, wow, okay, well, thanks.
Did you buy anything?
I bought a pack of Pokemon cards for the kids that I could put in their stockings.
That's perfect. That's
That's
actually a
big
great
shit about.
stocking. Wow. I would have liked it. But dude, I kind of had like the flavor for it the other day. I was like, I want to open a pack of something or a box of something like
You been playing
Mr.
that
Sim.
comic book game? Store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we talked. Will and I confessed to it. It's like it's a form of low rent, degenerate gambling. Yeah, it really is. So, I won't pretend otherwise.
I've seen a couple guys on YouTube playing that, but I was like, I think Jeff's playing this game.
That is, yeah.
It's your comic book store owner.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah.
Collectible card store.
I figured he was either playing that or the fucking Storage Force one.
The Word Force one? I don't know.
It's a thing. Go check it out.
He's like, I'm writing it down. And check it out.
Well, I mean, there are. Oddly enough, there's actually a few games that I kind of want to get into, but.
Which ones?
Well, now that you've mentioned Space Marine 2, yes, that's definitely a possibility. I was watching a couple of people playing that, but I've seen that before. I was like, this looks a solid game. I would like to actually play it with you.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
That would be fun. I still want to check out Path of Exile 2. And I was debating playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yes, I thought we might talk about that.
I was debating it. It's a tough one, man. I
don't want to play it.
I did play the first one.
I never played the first one.
I gave up on it. And I don't give up on games. But I gave up on the first one after like 49 hours.
That's pretty hefty investment.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There was a lot more stuff to do, but it felt like a lot more the same. And that at the time, like the combat was janky.
So the new combat looks pretty fun.
It does look pretty fun.
Yeah.
But Daniel Favre is such a fucking dickhead.
Who?
The creator of the game.
Why is he a dickhead? I don't know anything about
He
him.
just wouldn't stop. Like, he wouldn't stop bothering the fans.
Do they deserve it? Legit question.
This is a rough one. This is like the end of Unforgiven, man. It's like deserves got nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see in hell, winning money.
Yeah, there's sort of like we all got it coming. So
Yeah. I see the devil. He's got snake eyes.
so do gamers deserve it? Well, they all deserve it, but I don't know if it's for this.
I don't know, man. I've just seen a bunch of guys that I usually follow posting up shorts and shit about it. And then I'm not sure how much I'm into the first person,
Medieval combat.
Yeah, but it's the first one that I've seen since like fucking Rune 2. It actually looks kind of fun. So
Yeah, here's the thing: is the hello, little one. I know it sounds like she's leaking air. I know.
exactly. Deliberating.
The weird thing about it is because the combat is so like deliberately clunky, right? And it's designed to actually force you to move a sword in different directions to simulate swinging and blocking and parrying and riposting and all this other stuff. You have sort of a sense of accomplishment with it,
Right.
and it tires you out.
Well, that's why I've been playing Valheim lately. So,
This is the thing is, so like if we go back to Diablo and go back to press button for whack, there's a
press A to kill. If not kill, press A again. Sorry, I've been learning Python.
But yeah, it's so the direct opposite of that, because yeah, they'll pick up on what you're doing. So if you're like, all right, so I've got this thing where if people are being dumb and they, it's like, well, I'm carrying a longsword, so I'm just gonna poke. I'm just gonna poke at you. And eventually, the thing is, because these medieval dumbasses don't want to die, they're like, well, I'm not gonna let you keep poking me, right? You're like,
no.
God damn it! So you're making me think twice.
Throw a rock at you,
right? And so you have to keep thinking with the, well, now I have to swing like this. Now I have to block you. And there's this thing where it keeps using up your brain power, right? And I don't know if that's what you want from a game.
I don't know. I kind of want just like, fucking Warhammer kill things and not have to parkour, yeah.
So it's
Select heavier armaments and move forward.
it's the same sort of like, if you get into a tussle with bandits, they will jack up your armor. They will jack up your clothing.
Yeah, I have to go fix that shit.
And that
I
costs
don't
money.
want to do that.
You have to, so like, but where do I get money? Well, okay.
I'd rather
Well,
just ask the emperor for new clothes.
you wouldn't ask the emperor. The emperor is a corpse on the throne.
Gifted to you.
But
Because I do his bidding.
but therein lies the problem. Is all right. So if how do I line my pockets? Well, when people die or I kill them, I'm going to go to their body, and I'm going to take all their money, all of their dried meat, and anything of value of theirs,
And go sell it.
and go sell it. And of course, what happens when you have games where you have to collect objects to sell?
Encumbrance.
Yes, so there is encumbrance. So you can't just, you can put some of that on your horse, but eventually your horse will become over.
Right, I can't put 50 logs on my fucking back and another 50 on my horse. Yeah.
Right. So it does hold you to that sort of sense of like reality, and you can get a kick out of it. There's also a component that says like,
All right, so bottom line is the game's still like $70.
I will not be buying it $70.
Yeah, okay.
I will not be buying Civ 7.
$60. I will not be buying
$70.
Civ 7. I've watched a couple more like reviews since you and I talked about it on Monday.
Yeah,
They're going down.
uninspired.
Yeah,
It's just-
training
yeah,
downwards.
yeah,
Yeah. So in terms of like how fucking broke dick that game is. So
Have they started being vicious about it now?
yeah.
Oh, I saw a lot of people like. I saw a lot of people that the reviews I looked at were people like. They were talking about Civ 7 like it's an ex-girlfriend, so they don't want to. They were.
How would you did that one before?
Well, this is the thing. It's like they were tap dancing around it because they didn't want to admit they made a mistake, right? So it's like, you can't call your ex-girlfriend ugly, right? Because then that speaks poorly upon you, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right? And so, in the same way that people were talking about it in those reviews, they were like, well, Civ 7, it's like, it's its good qualities, but, what?
But she
So-
was my first girlfriend.
Exactly,
Right, yeah.
exactly, right? It's just like, well, she was,
Well, I'm sorry, man. I've been around since Civ 1. So,
Right.
Yeah.
you were there when the magic was written, or, whatever.
Sure,
whatever it is.
yeah. I remember my high school girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah.
And this one is not it. Not it.
Well, I'd see that's a lot of it. Is like a lot of people are saying like whatever spark you used to feel for Civ, it feels like it's not there.
So this is an ex-wife now. Got it.
Well, okay, nobody said it like that directly, but it makes sense to say like, well, the divorce isn't final, but the paperwork is definitely.
We've got it all figured out. It's totally fine.
Yeah, we're just deciding
I
custody
am
at
not
this point.
being 70.
Well, I do know that other versions of Civ they have basically made like apology editions.
Well, Revolution kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe when that comes out, the Civ 7 We're Sorry pack, and it comes with all the stuff, and they fix mechanics that actually make it look like fun.
I want a Skylines 2 apology to her first.
That I want that to be a handwritten apology and a check.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
okay.
this is.
I'll get you on the line with customer service.
You know what?
Sign me up. I need a class action here.
I'll say that customer service is universally worse in Europe.
Yeah, probably.
They don't take grief.
No, they just hang up on you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not paid to handle this.
Yeah. Go play fun with the phone system.
Well, you talk to me like this.
Yeah. So press 1 to give a shit.
That's not a rumor either. I hear customer service. In
No,
Europe is
that's true. Yeah.
fucking awful.
So they're not there on Friday anyway.
I have a new favorite kind of video, Patrick.
So
My new favorite kind of video is watching Americans overseas, American streamers, going overseas and getting their asses beat by the locals.
Really?
It is.
Streamers.
Yes. So people
Like
that
Jake Paul? You know?
think, yes, but lower rent. So like the Johnny Somalis and guys who basically irritate foreigners.
And they actually get beat, like fist on face.
Oh man, I watched these Japanese guys kick the crap out of some American streamers the other day.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was enjoying it so much.
What are the American
Look at us.
streamers doing?
Pestering the Japanese.
Well, that's what you get then.
Well, the reason that they do that in these high trust cultures is generally they try to get by on like deference and general politeness.
Okay.
But evidently, when you piss them off enough, they will kick the crap out of you, and it's fantastic. And I saw another guy do that in
Some
Korea.
of those guys go to Canada, so that'd be the best.
See, that's the thing. If you,
I mean, you really have to push them. They get like an hour and a half out of that stream, and then you would absolutely get whopped.
Isn't that like teasing the English guards, whatever?
oh
those
yeah,
are
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's usually like Chinese tourists, who are like trying to tug on the hat or something.
With a horse.
Or the horse.
Yeah, you don't mess with a horse.
You don't mess with the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's if it comes across at some point. If you come
Okay,
across
I'm gonna
that
check that out.
subgenre, you'll enjoy it because you and remember to watch the whole thing because those stories. That's the thing is they have depth. They establish character. You can see how irritating these people are. And so when they eventually do piss off the Koreans enough that they drag you outside and just beat the shit out of you,
it's always a bigger one too that you don't expect them to be there.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's delightful. Yeah. It's
So I've
fantastic.
been watching some guys like troll the Japanese over their language lately.
Explain.
Well, it's like everything is same but different. Is that a real thing?
Everything is what but different?
Like, well, they have like the same word for like 5 different things,
Oh,
but they're slightly different.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's real.
Yes.
Okay. So.
He'd know much better than me, but yeah.
Oh yeah. You haven't been keeping up with the Duolingo?
Well, he's got like a book of notes.
Yes, actual notes. This is
Oh no,
I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing that either.
I
Yeah,
do the
they-
little lessons that come up on my phone, and I
Yeah,
call it good.
it reminds me at midnight every night. It's like, hey, Pat, you still want to learn Spanish? I was like, yes. You want to do it right now? No. You want to lose your streak? No.
I was that was one of my favorite things I saw on the internet was somebody found a picture of the Duolingo headquarters and took a picture and the caption's like, I found them, guys. And I was like,
Well, he killed the bird.
well, that's what that was
owl.
The owl, yeah.
Oh.
yeah, and so yeah, that was the when I wrote back. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wake him up later on and make him learn something. And now I know where to go. But so Will and I are
Make
different
him
on
do
this.
fractions.
What you doing? It's like, okay, welcome. So okay, so I'm gonna teach you what per capita is.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so the difficulty with this, and I think we've talked about this before, is they have 3 separate alphabets, right?
What? Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a functional alphabet, well, 2 functional alphabets, and then a kanji alphabet.
Right, I've seen the kanji one.
This is like where I was showing William today, specifically one for the word ichi. I think everybody knows the word ichi, right?
Ichi?
Yeah, 1.
Okay.
Right?
Like, I know it now.
That's
Thank you.
yeah, that's why that's why
Ichijima, 1 Jima. Got it.
well, it's evil.
No, that's what is Ewo?
I don't know.
The second Jima.
That's
I just made that up. I'm sorry.
right. It's not,
Jima.
But yeah, but anyway, right. So that's why you'll see like so many brands in Japan. They're called Ichiban. That's number 1, right?
Yeah, okay.
But it also turns out that if you do the kanji for ichi, it means place.
Okay.
Same word, same spelling. If you spell it in that second functional alphabet, you cannot distinguish which meaning it is. which is why if you really want to specify in writing, you have to use the kanji. This language, this is what we were talking about, is
He's already going to corporate here.
Yeah, I just kind of float along. I'm to the point now where I can start hearing certain words. Like, 'cause we watched the newest Solo Leveling and it wasn't dubbed yet. And so I'd hear
yeah.
a word here and there. So it's kind of like back in the day when you would just try and listen for your name.
Right.
Kind of like that.
Well, yeah.
'Cause holy crap, they speak so fast. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I heard him say what?
Well, try the Spanish one, man. I mean,
I can pick a few more, and I still want to. Every time I hear, like it says when I read a word, I want to go to the Spanish word versus the Japanese word.
oh, so I've been doing the Spanish one for a month now, and
I'd be
Good.
good at Spanish.
Right on.
well, I mean, I know all the vocab, but when it says like speak now, it's like skip. And it's like listen now, is it skip?
Really?
Yeah, I just I'm just like doing it by numbers,
I like this.
I love the
one.
speaking and listening ones. Those are,
Speaking's because it's fast. You can get through a lesson pretty quick,
Oh, okay. I'm usually in the
and
bathroom.
you don't even have to come close to getting it all right. They let you get
Listening
it.
one?
They let
Yeah.
you get it at like 50%.
I don't know. I got to the Spanish one to the point in time where I'm doing all the conjugation stuff again, and I remember all of it. So
that's
I'm
fantastic.
good
That's
at
cool.
it.
Nice.
Really awesome.
Yeah, but they don't do the nosotros at all. So
Really?
yeah, because I did the Mexican Spanish, not the fucking
Oh, Spain.
That would be vosotros.
vosotros. Yeah,
Okay,
that
right.
one.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That one. I'm not lurking fucking Basque or whatever.
Well, because Spanish was like conjugating it was basically it was all boot verb except for the irregular verbs, right?
Irregular verbs? Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a few.
because they had a
Yeah.
few, but not many.
Yeah, I am, stoy, soy. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few irregular verbs.
But I think their irregular verbs are so common that you learn them like right away.
There's only a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only a few.
It's a very efficient language. This is not. This is Japanese.
No, I hear Japanese is completely fuck sword. Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, so there's a beauty to it, but it takes a while to. Again, this is where it becomes completely different. It's not. It's built like constructs, where it is where it's all done with
The
participles.
blue ones or the red ones?
Now, Patrick, that's the problem. Is you're going to use
Right.
them all, right? If it was, there's a component to it where you're like, this is making sense. Where you put like the little popcorn kernel and then a gray thing and then another popcorn kernel, and you just click, 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 right? Where it's just like word particle, word particle. I'm like, okay, got it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. What is a adjective? I'm like, well, this fucks up the whole thing because this is a different kind of. Okay, well, you're connecting them in this certain way. All right. So, how does this work when one particle is essentially every preposition in the language?
Oh, got it.
Right.
It's
So,
all two.
well, that's the thing. Is like so when you put this here, it's like okay.
I put that two here.
Well, you say, but prepositions are designed to give the relationship between two objects. Well, you infer it in the sentence. Like you said, it's like, well, two, I'm going to use this 90%. What if it's around? What
I'll
if
do
it's
it
above?
two.
What if it's below?
Yeah,
what if
two-
it's
two up,
it's like oh my
two
God,
down.
This is when you have like day, and what does that mean? By means of. Like this is
Yeah, Jeff showed me his notes and stuff like that, and I was just like,
Well, he's the language guy, so
I'm
Well,
like,
that's-
I think I'm just gonna memorize every sentence possible to create because I don't
you're
know the
definitely more
rules.
capable of that than I am.
I don't understand. Like,
I mean, Spanish at least has rules.
solid rules.
Yeah.
Solid rules. I love it.
Yeah, now, like, I was doing indirect and direct objects. And in Spanish, it's always backwards, every single time. So,
So that would be like, so it's subject, verb, object.
yes, always.
Okay, so is it subject, verb, direct, indirect, or
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
Always.
You know what? And that's how when people say things in English that are coming from Spanish, you hear them
It
say
makes
that
sense.
like,
Yeah.
right.
Yep. Yeah. So, and same thing with adjectives always follow the actual object. So,
Right.
and that, yeah. So
Subtitles.
I like this blue.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like shoes blue. So, yeah.
That's right. Pluralize when it's
Correct.
yeah, when it's
Right up front.
yep.
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 So it's pretty straightforward.
Pluralize the adjective as well.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. I like shoes blues. Yep.
I don't even know how it plurals things.
Most
doesn't.
it doesn't.
Probably it does. It's just, you just know it in
Yeah,
the sentence.
yeah,
like
yeah.
It literally.
Correct. It's
It's the-
contextual.
it-
Sorry,
Exact
we
same
haven't
word.
spoken it long enough to get it.
Like I said, I'm just gonna memorize every possible sentence out there.
And it's like Russian where there aren't articles.
Russian is weird. All the Slavic languages are weird.
They're shitty. I got a chart of it. I got a conjugation chart in Russian. It's ridiculous. It is all
It's a
right.
flow chart.
You're talking about words that have like on their own 14 different conjugations. Like
Yeah.
this is stupid.
This is stupid.
And then you look at their letters. I'm like, well, you also have extra letters. You have like, and this one's backwards. This one's a cat head.
This one's a cat.
Like you can't. Are you telling me that you can't do this with just the letters you have? You need more, and you have to draw ears on them.
Well, Japanese is kind of silly. Sorry.
It's
Like, you're not saying it quite right, so we gotta put horns on this one.
I know, man. It's rough. It's
The only
rough.
thing about Spanish is like when I do the Duolingo and you have to type the shit in, autocorrect is a bitch. So it's just constantly telling me, it's like, no, this should be an S. It's like, no, it's a Z. And you just cost me a fucking lesson and a diamond, you motherfucker. You know, yeah.
Well, you're on the pro. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
you're on the pro on that one.
No,
so.
bro.
Well, and then if you,
Oh, your whole family does it too, though. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but if you type in the letters, like it'll start typing in the Japanese characters,
Yes.
which I was like, wow.
Oh, no shit. That's cool.
Because that's how their keyboards work.
It
Too.
doesn't work like that in Spanish. And it keeps yelling at me. It's like, where's your accento? It's like, I don't have a key for that. So,
Like,
it's like,
you
I'm
tell
sorry.
me.
Where the fuck is the tilde key? You know?
Right, because you're like, oh, that one is yeah, it's the sperm button over here next to the one.
Yeah, El
Yeah.
Nino.
Right.
Yeah.
How do I put that on top of something?
It's like you mistyped it. I was like,
No, I didn't.
no, I didn't.
You misread it.
Yeah.
Let me speak to your manager.
What are you trying to speak to your manager? All right, I gotta use a can. Guys.
No,
I'm
it's
31 days in.
that's awesome.
I am 40 days into Brilliant on Python now. So,
Also awesome. Yeah, but this is I still spend like an hour with it every day because it's because I'm breaking down the sentences piece by piece and that's the thing is so all right, good on you for saying like I'm not gonna wait for solo leveling to be dubbed.
Oh, I would have waited,
Oh, okay.
but
I would.
William couldn't wait.
I wouldn't. I'm with your son. It's
But I like eating or something while I'm watching the show. I can't eat
no, you cannot.
while watching the show when it's not dubbed.
That is correct.
So it's a little annoying, but and the power levels is just
Absurd.
it's complete bonker levels now.
But there's no way to say like that second season. I don't even know what's going on half the time. But my God, does it look cool?
It looks cool, but now so many of the characters are just irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
You're just specks of people. Like you're
Well, I
barely
don't
even
know who you are. Yeah.
What
It doesn't
the-
even matter.
like. I'm like, dude, you are. I'm like, there's like 5 people on this planet now that are the only ones worthwhile. Like your dad.
Introduced like 2 episodes ago. I'm
And
like,
just
okay,
gone.
well, all right,
Yeah.
cool. But man, when that show decides it's time to kick ass, it kicks ass.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is a treat to watch the fights in this. I'm like, there was a part where I think it was like not this last episode, but the one before, where like even the soundtrack started kicking in. I'm like, this is badass. And to me, that was like, I don't want to say it was like a hidden gem. I had no expectation. Like I'd never heard of this or anything. It was like, what is this? I'm gonna watch this, and I watched this. Like, okay, I'm finding myself into this. Like 4 episodes, I'm like, it's not just that I want to watch this. Now I'm waiting for new episodes. And this season around, I'm like, I don't. It's like there's polar bears, there's zombie orcs and all this stuff. I'm like, this is great. I still don't really know or care what's going on. But my God, the fights in this are amazing. And there's always like a good one every episode.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And now he's doing this tower thing. I'm like, all right, well, go do this. Is this the tower you lost on? It doesn't really matter. Your mom is sick. You're going to take care of her. It's fine. It's great. But yeah, and like you've seen it now, like the subtitled voices are so much better than the dubbed voices. They really are. They're so much better.
Understand,
Right. Rather than picking up every 5th word.
I get that you're willing to trade understanding for like delivery, but oh man, it's just,
yes, I would rather understand what they're saying than just hearing.
but the words are
Vomit
there for
coming
you.
out.
The words are there for you.
But I don't get to watch the show as much.
So what I've found has helped with like language stuff is watching shorts on like either YouTube or TikTok in my case, or Telegram. So
Okay.
I don't have any Spanish on my Telegram though. I got some Russian, but it's all gobbledygook.
Right. There's nothing to understand. It's just
It was like rah 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 rah.
right.
So, but like Spanish, especially on like X, where I get shorts on there on X, I can understand it a little bit better now because you listen to it like 4 times in like 30 seconds.
Sure. Yeah.
So and it's like, oh, okay. I see. Yeah, no, yeah. She does have a fat ass. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that I can see that.
Yeah. It does help.
Does it translate it? Does it have it translated?
You can turn that on or off. So if you got the subtitles on or off. So I leave them off, and then same thing on YouTube. So I'll go find, like I'll go down a shorts rabbit hole that's all in Spanish, and I'll like, wait, what? Scroll back up. Wait, what? Scroll back up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that cat is mean. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The performances are just the significantly better. People that have done, I mean, it's like they're reading a phone book, dude. They don't care. It's passionless. The voices they choose are always bad.
What, the translated ones or the original?
I think they're just fine.
They're awful. Awful. They never.
All customer service. Fucking.
They never.
Let's go.
They never even attempt to match the originals. They just, it's like, oh, you can fill in a voice, even though you sound, it's like, even though this kid is 15. Yeah.
Ooh, question for you.
Yes.
Have you seen or read As the Gods Will?
No, what's that?
Okay. Well, Livy brought it up to me, and it's an insane, just insane show. Like, it's so hard.
It's Japanese?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Japanese.
okay.
I can't think of what the name of the head is, but like, it's all these kids in a class, and it starts out that the teacher's head gets replaced by this head, and it's this game of like red light, green light. Like, if it's looking at you, you can't move. If it turns its head, then you can move towards it, or you can move. And then it's just, but it's all these like levels, and it's selecting everyone in the school dies except for like 3 people, and then those 3 get
Just like Squid Game.
insane level. Like, it's so zany, crazy. Like, it's wild.
Is it lighthearted, or it sounds like it's kind of like
So the
nihilistic?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, is this played for laughs or is it?
So in the books, yeah, these people, the kids get like just like a crater in their chest when the thing kills it.
Jesus.
But in the movie, instead of having it be blood, it turns into like red marbles.
What?
So it's so crazy.
God's will?
As the God's
red
will.
marbles. Yeah.
And so it was so crazy that I was like, dude, Jeff might have seen that. Like,
This is older or?
I don't know how. Well, I think it's like 5-6 years old.
Take a look.
Your
daughter's liking it?
Yeah, well, yeah. So she likes it. And then there's a second season, but they never made it into a movie, so it's just the books.
Oh.
And so I bought her the books, the whole set,
And they're twice as.
but they're in Japanese.
Wah, wah, wah.
What a great learning tool.
But
Way to spin
it's
that,
free on Kindle. It's free on Kindle, so I can. We're reading through it that way.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I was like, "You want me to return them?" And she's like, "No, these are so cool." And I was like,
Oh, man. I mean, that's. Yeah, and again, it's weird things. There are weird again the nuances of the language. There are things where, again, the translations, they're not one for one, not even close, not even close. This is part of one of the things where it's like, God damn, so much of this is interpretive, right?
and the books are backwards.
Well, that's because they read right to left.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
Even
about
on
that.
Kindle, you have to flip it backwards.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Oh, I'd fuck that up.
There was a, I mean, this was one of the disputes back in the day when they would talk about like translating these was, because they would take these and turn these into floppies, right? Into like regular American comic book floppies when they would do that with this stuff instead of doing like the bound books. And so one of the debates was, and they still talk about this, was
Wait a minute, what's a floppy?
a 22-page American comic book.
They're not bound on the right-hand side? Or the left-hand side?
Yes. So what they would do is they would take these right to left comic books, right?
Okay.
And then convert them into left to right comic books. And let me ask you this here. So if you read basically right to left,
Oh, it's still bound on the left-hand side.
but still bound on the left hand
Got it.
side, like
Okay.
everything, like the question is, how would you take that and convert it to a left to a right reading culture?
I'd go find a different job.
Because your pages would be
Yeah,
mismatched.
they'd be
Like,
backwards.
it'd be
Yeah.
So the first thing that they would do is they said most places preferred the photocopy method, basically photocopy and flip.
Oh, yeah, I got it. So just reverse the
Okay.
copy. Yeah.
Right? Now, the problem is, of course, if you do that, and you're going to do that, what happens to all the text?
You flip that too.
So if somebody's wearing a
so you're
shirt that...
translating it anyway.
but you're translating it.
Yeah.
But basically, like, if a person has a shirt that says Boston on it,
True.
right?
It says unstub Bob.
You're having to.
So what they would do is they would photocopy and flip, and then flip, right? They would then flip the panels, right? Because then they would still be in the same, thing. The other thing that they said that it would have to do is, depending on the person that did that, they're like, well, actually, that screws up the artistic intention. You guys have to cut each panel and rebuild each page for the
Like, fuck you, do that yourself.
Well, he's just like, I already wrote it.
I already
wrong.
wrote it,
That's
yeah.
their
It's
problem.
you guys are localizing it. That's just how it goes.
Okay, well, don't sell them in America. Fuck off. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind the guy that the reason that this dude actually did that was because his work prominently featured a swastika that was backwards,
Oh, bad.
because this was in that period. That
I'm
was
sorry, it's Anastasi now. Yeah, got it.
well, I mean, in this case, it was actually an old symbol because this took place in the samurai era. It's like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
know,
like,
yeah.
but I can't have you guys. I can't
I've seen
miss
the
you guys.
TikTok shorts of German guys going to Japan and saying, hey, what the fuck?
Dude, I showed you the ones that were in the hotel. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
those are Anastasi. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, got it.
But he's like, I can't risk you guys accidentally photocopying this and flipping this and turning it the other way.
Well, yeah, we can't sell it in Germany.
Correct. Yeah. And it's just weird things where, yeah, one of the shows that I was watching, because this is on Netflix and it was a great show. I didn't watch it on Netflix. I watched it before with its actual, like, the show is called Dungeon Food.
Nope, I haven't seen that.
Okay, that's a great title for a show. But because this stuff doesn't work out all that well, it's on Netflix with an infinitely worse title. It's called Delicious in Dungeon. That's terrible. That's why I never found it on there.
It's like you're gonna make like boar meat and like fucking blueberry sauce. You know?
Look, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the show has to do with cooking, right? It's about cooking dungeon monsters and eating them. Okay, this is a great show. Dungeon Food is a way better title than Delicious in Dungeon. That's stupid.
Extra spicy spit dog. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the show, man.
exactly. Yeah. So,
That's a bad title.
but that's just mistranslation.
But it's not a mistranslation. It's that you have
It's a
to make certain.
reinterpretation.
You have to make a decision and say, like, what are you going to do? Like,
Dungeon Food's not really a good
it's
title.
awesome. No, it's great. That is a great title. It says it is exactly what is on the tin.
Sounds like you're getting some really crappy food.
That's the
They're
point,
Japanese dungeons, though.
right?
So, yeah.
I mean, they like eat griffins and stuff. But the point remains. It's a
yeah.
bad translation. Bad translation.
You're not eating creepers here, man.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, do you get one piece of bread, or do you get mold, or do you get...
You have to watch the show and find out.
I don't think I'd watch the show.
Show's awesome. Show's fantastic. It's on there, but you have to look for it under its crappy title.
How'd you find it?
It since I'm burning through Netflix stuff, it kicks out things that says more like this.
Did you watch the Boston thing?
The Boston thing?
Oh, with the Yankees?
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah, I don't.
No, I
don't have Netflix.
I am
Well,
no.
he said he's burning through everything, and I was like, oh, well,
No, I am an hour and 10 minutes into Dune 2.
That movie is weird.
I'm watching it in sessions. I'm really enjoying it, but it is long, man.
It's got a weird. There's a lot of things that come together at the end that's kind of weird.
I've not made it to the end yet,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I mean, there's the things. A lot of things.
It's pretty.
Well,
No,
I mean,
it's well shot.
You're not going to spoil. I mean, I read the book, so I mean, it's not the.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's the same fucking book.
Yeah.
It's the first book split into 3 movies.
Sweet.
yeah, there's a third one.
Yeah, they're gonna have to have a third one.
It doesn't end with.
No,
Sorry.
not even close.
No, sorry, buddy.
Really?
No.
Yeah, no.
How'd they get it done in one before?
Well, because they chopped off the back ass of the book.
Well, you're right. They truncated like half a book into about 11 minutes.
Right, yeah. The
Yeah,
bloody
that's
fat man. Rah!
Yeah.
There's a lot more to that than
Yeah, that is true.
Anyway. So,
I don't know, man. This is there are things that I like about it, but there are things that also. I mean, you're right. It's visually striking. It's
good.
Yeah.
brilliant to look at. There's a lot of again. There's in this one.
There's a lot of shit going on.
I don't think if you weren't familiar with the story, I think you'd be so lost in that movie.
Oh, totally. You'd have to go watch the first one as a primer twice. So, yeah.
I think the first one, the 84 movie, actually explains crap better. It comes at a cost, though.
Well, the goofy, yeah. I know you like the goofy, man, but I mean, it is there's a lot of like, hey, check this out, kind of thing going on in that movie.
Well,
it's like they got heart plugs.
there's nothing subtle in the.
This guy's hooked up to his cat.
He's milking it. It's a cat milking machine.
It's disgusting, man.
That's
Like,
not.
I have 2 cats.
That's not in the book. I'll say that too. It's not in the book.
Yeah, it's not in the book.
I mean, a lot of things aren't. There's like those weird, the weird creatures and stuff in this new one are not in the book. The weird creatures of in the Harkonnen rooms and stuff like that. Like that's not there. But
well, and same thing with our Harkonnen's Coliseum. Yeah, that's not in the book. You know.
But it's a neat interpretation. I don't
Dude, that scene itself gives me fucking sunburn. Come on, man.
Okay, yes, but it did at least lean into the weird, and I do appreciate the weird.
Yeah, you like the guy hooked up to the cat.
That was also weird. It's
If you're gonna do it, just do it in one scene, bro.
I get it. Yeah, it's. I mean, there are things that are good about it. They actually take the time to explain. It's like, oh, okay, well, this is actually why these two characters would like each other, instead of the other one where it's like, well, you're both there, and you're both around the same age.
Yeah, it's
so
okay.
of course this is gonna happen.
It'll be okay. Yeah.
You know, and that they are doing a good thing about, like, yes, this person is pregnant. Yes, the child is talking to you. And it's not presented as unusual in the book.
Right.
They just glaze over that in the other one. She's eventually just born.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So it's sort of, well...
I'm sorry, you're stretching my memory here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't know that there was going to be a third one. I just thought...
Well, I don't know if there is going to be, but there is actually a third piece of that book.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there has to be a third one.
Yeah. You've seen it, though.
Yeah, there's definitely.
You've seen the second one, too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think it's that confusing.
You know the story, though. I mean, if you went in completely blind, if I
went in completely blind, I'd be lost.
I was gonna say, if I took a girl who hadn't seen any of this, hadn't read the book, knows nothing about the story,
She'd be like, take me
for
home
both
now.
movies,
Yeah, drop me off.
Not that far fetched for. I don't think so, but
the only thing about the second one is if there is going to be a third one, they did a really good job of killing off a bunch of characters that should be in that third one. Or at least like tying up some ends. So I don't know. There might not be a third one. There should be.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think
because it's got so many dudes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, this is the weird thing that's why when you said a third one, I'm getting like flashbacks of The Hobbit. Like, there's not enough meat on that novel.
No, there's more than enough meat
to make three movies. Yeah. You know.
No, there's more than enough. Because like Paul eventually does become the God Worm Emperor of Dune. So
Paul?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the first one.
The Muad'Dib, yeah.
He does not become the God Emperor.
It's his son.
Son, yeah. Leto 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure that when I saw the end, that it made it clear that there was a third.
There's going to be a third one. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, what?
there were a few things that were like, oh, wait a minute, what? Are you in charge now? What does that mean? Yeah.
Is there a knife fight at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where the other one ends. More or less.
Yeah, but they were cramming that into a lot less real estate.
Guys, this is costing us how
you
much
can
per
only
minute?
draw so much on a postage stamp.
I still cannot believe that at the time, that movie, they were treating it like Star Wars. They were like, they made like lunch boxes and action figures and stuff like that for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is not...
Well, everybody was trying to do that back then, man. So, you know.
Well, you gotta remember, that's the movie that Lynch actually made in lieu of directing Return of the Jedi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They asked him to do it. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it instead.
I thought it was the same guy who did Empire Strikes Back did Return of the Jedi.
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
That was Irving Kershner. That was
I'll trust you. I don't remember.
Oh no! The third guy is
guy.
it's like Richard something. I don't remember his name, but yeah, Irvin Kershner. It turns out that was George Lucas's former like film professor.
Oh, okay. It's Star Wars related. It's been memory hold as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there's a lot of things. Yeah, I think you and I decanonized a lot of things. I mean,
all dead, Jeff.
We weren't invited to like the council. We weren't to the
I don't till that garden anymore,
Right.
man. It's been left to nature.
They didn't ask us if like, are you going to include the Gnostic text? I'm like,
No, it's cool.
not up
Yeah,
for you.
I'm Orange Catholic. Fuck off.
right.
I'm not gonna believe in your religion.
Well, this shit is weird when you get to like the actual Gnostic text. We're like, I want to include this because this is where it has all the weird angels with like
Right, yeah, exactly.
600 eyeballs
Yeah.
and like 200 wings.
And fucking mushrooms and
Yeah, I think that's where that's where like the half giants come in, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Nephilims?
the Demogorgons, and
yeah, right.
fucking revenants, and so on John Romero's head. Whatever.
Word. Yeah. Oh, so that's some Super Bowl, huh?
Oh shit! It has been that long, hasn't it? Yeah.
It was fantastic Super Bowl.
Dude, they got called out as fraudulent, like ridiculously fraudulent. So on the grandest of stages, I've had several discussions with my students since like that, and they're all of the opinion there's like, yeah, actually apparently the whole AFC East or AFC was a joke. So
What?
well, we kept getting kicked around by this fucking shit-tacular team that showed up and got its ass beat like a drum. So,
Well,
A defensive line will beat the Chiefs.
well, they had one, and the rest of the AFC didn't.
We did. That's why I wanted to play the Chiefs.
Well, we couldn't get past Buffalo, so there you go.
And we wouldn't have gotten past
It is
Baltimore.
King on the Hill. Yeah, it is
So.
King of the Hill after all. So, but
That was fantastic.
yeah.
Now,
Other than the fact that the Eagles won and fed their fans.
now
It's
as long
like
as
beating rabid dogs for another year, man. They're just going to come back.
1 year is fine. They just can't win back to back.
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, I guess.
They'll
Yeah,
fall
no,
apart.
yeah.
They'll
Okay.
fall apart.
All right.
They can't pay all those guys.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, it has to stop.
you say that, but there are teams that manage like. Think about all those years that the Colts managed to pay so much talent under the table with so much nonsense. They didn't win shit from it, but they were crooked as can be.
Yeah, but Peyton was really good. Hurts is not that good.
There are guys.
You don't think Jalen
that
Hurts
he's
is that good?
awesome.
No.
Okay. Anyway, I just watched. I hadn't watched him all fucking year, so I just saw him in the Super Bowl, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, you're pretty
How
good."
long has he been in the league?
3-4 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, man. He plays for Philly. I don't watch Philly. So.
I watch everything, but no, man. Everyone was the Chiefs stopped Saquon. That was their only goal.
Right. I noticed a lot of non-football people were struggling with his name. People were like,
Who's Saquon?
yeah,
Oh,
they called him Sasquatch.
okay.
Not another
Yeah.
S.
I know. Well, you know, well, so we had a friend that he wasn't great at reading. So what he would do is he would like once over the word really quick and decide what it was.
Noah Bunga.
Like when he'd say like "Go, Mr. Pagoo," the word's pogo. It's only 4 letters,
Right.
and so I would hear a lot of people say like Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch, like Barkley, they could get. It's kind of like in the same way. It's like there were people that never pronounced Amani Toomer's name correctly because they saw a word that looked familiar to one.
Wow.
They saw a word that looked familiar to a word they knew, which was Armani.
Right.
There were dudes that always called him Jeremy Shockley. Because that's what I'm talking about. They would take a quick look at it and say, I know the word. And that's
Wait a minute. What was it?
It was Jeremy Shockey.
Shockey. Yeah, there we go.
So I don't
Yeah.
know why you would put an L.
Yeah, but people did. I do. Yeah, no, you're
Jeremy
spot on.
Shockley.
Shockley.
This is what I'm talking about. That's where it's Sasquatch.
Now, if you mess up Giannis Antetokounmpo, I get that.
Tingus Pingus.
Tingus fingers. No fucking Latavia.
I got it.
Saquon is not.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like Sasquatch better. So did the Chiefs handle Sasquatch Barkley?
They handled him, but
What the fuck did you do?
All right, but you're satisfied with the result.
I was thrilled.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
As long as those jackwagons didn't three-peat. That's all I care about.
Now they're done, and Taylor Swift got thoroughly booed.
That's all.
So yeah, I mean,
All right. Did you guys
That's the
see
one
the
thing that-
halftime show?
it was terrible.
Afterwards, I didn't.
No, I was kind of like sort of watching it, but
I
then
thought it was absolute garbage.
I couldn't. Well, first of all, I couldn't hear it that much. So, and second of all, it was just like so repetitive. And then, I mean, he's like ripping off lines so fast. It was like, what is this? You know? I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I watched a little bit of it, and then there was like time for beer.
I was like, the show wasn't even exciting. Like, it wasn't even like,
There was nothing going on.
it was just
There was no
the
like
same guys just doing one kind
in
of thing.
various forms of
dance.
dress. Yes, yeah.
I was like, dude, you know, throw Katy Perry back out there.
Yeah.
At least there's a giant lion or something.
I
that
wanted
comes out.
left shark backs.
Yeah.
Eventually, the NFL is going to have to remember that white people do watch their game.
So, like the guys on the radio were talking to us about this the week afterward. They have money on it. We're going to have a country western artist next year.
But that would be an insult to Beyonce's country western album, which won like all the Grammys.
I think that's the point, Jeff.
You know why it won those Grammys?
Because she's Beyonce.
And she's black.
Well, whatever. But still, I mean, nobody pays attention to that shit anymore. That's why, like, if you actually looked at like the viewership, there's like a 30-minute gap. You know?
I'm just no like the
That's when everybody flipped over to ESPN to watch the half game show.
Puppy
You know?
bowls.
Yeah, puppy bowls, and
you're never gonna go. See, that should be the halftime show. Is the animals? I would argue. Okay, so look, if you say like Mr. Jeffrey, what are we gonna do for the halftime this year? It's like, okay, so here's how this works. So you get 15 minutes. However long the regular halftime is, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
20?
Usual. Yeah.
Okay, you get 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The UCLA marching band is going to come out here for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to play little snippets of popular songs. Right?
Oh, no,
They're going to
no,
play.
no.
No. The UCLA marching band is going to come out. They're going to play like Gangnam Style on the horns. And then we're going to go back to the game.
I'm sorry, man. I think Stars and Stripes Forever and a fucking flyover by the F-16 Falcons.
Hey, you know what? That's
Thunderbirds,
fine.
there we go.
You know what? We'll do it my way this year. We're going to do it your way next year. And there's going to be a lot of people.
It might be a Navy year. You
when
never
they
know.
did like the West Coast Productions one, where it had like all the at least you'd see maybe one of the artists you like or something like that. It would come
Yeah,
up.
okay, that would
and it
work.
would like bounce from one person to the next person that fed and like it tied all of them together. But it was literally just that one guy.
There was that one guy the entire
Just
time, and it wasn't even
come on, man.
entertaining. I mean, like Jeff and I were talking about this. Like, I don't know how many years ago. It was probably 3-4 years ago when Gaga did the show.
Yes.
It was fantastic. You know, it was entertaining because she changed it up like every 2-3 minutes. You know, kind of thing. Even the Carrie Beatty and Left Shark. It was dumb, but it was fun.
And I mean, like, we had big old theatrics and
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff
So-
that's going on. It's at least entertaining to keep an eye
Well,
on.
and I was telling him about this too. I mean, the whole New Orleans thing is just like, come on, man, get off that. You know, it all had to be like, you know, Creole and fucking voodoo and shit like that. You know, it was like,
I love that
I
aesthetic.
get that, man.
Halloween.
But come on, man. I mean, okay, you do that in the intro, and then you
Yes.
do like 5 different things during halftime. Come
Right.
on, man.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, look, okay, so also, all right. You don't want to stand on this. Give us 15 minutes. Get people in and out. just let the band play or whatever, or something. I would argue at that point, it's like, do something local. Like, have something fun where like, yeah, where, okay, so...
But that's just not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. I mean,
No.
it's too big of a stage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me put it this way. Okay, so you will never have a halftime performance as good or as meaningful, okay, as 2002. You simply won't. The tribute to like September 11th, when they put all the names on the board, okay, as U2 played Where the Streets Have No, you're never going to do
You do
better.
that on Memorial Day.
Well,
you don't do that in a fucking...
You'll never put on a better actual performance than that. Same way where if you ask any of the old guys in the dunk contest, they said the slam dunk contest ended when Spud Webb...
Jesus H. Christ. That's like 30 years ago.
Well, why is it impressive? Because the dude that's like 5'6" won the dunk contest.
Yeah, I
you're
get
never
that,
going to
but
do
that,
better.
like-
So if
No,
you're
they
not...
did better.
If you're never going to top that moment, then do something different.
I think it should
something
just be
small.
like some fucking potpourri thing that
You
just
just
like
can't-
just appeal to the entire audience. You know, stop catering to little pieces of it. So
Right. That also means stop pretending that like there's a separate part of America between like Kansas and Missouri that is like the country of black, and stop singing their anthem at the show. Just you have one national anthem. That's it. Stop catering this
I
shit.
don't know, man. I personally, I kind of like your other idea. Just do some local shit and not put it on the big stage, and kick over to the guys who are doing the halftime show. You know,
Sure.
it's fine.
Sure.
I get that. It's not going to happen. It's too big of a venue. You know, but still at the same point in time, I mean, if it's going to be halftime, I mean, any like normal football game you go to, halftime is like, okay, I got to take a piss. I got to grab a new dog and some beers, you know.
Yeah, but this is
You got to
supposed
take the
be-
dog out to take a poop.
This is supposed to be for the people that don't normally watch football.
Fuck them.
No, okay,
This
yeah,
is
you're
the
right.
time that everyone gathers for a Super Bowl. You're getting
Yeah, so your
everybody-
dad loves a fucking Super Bowl, so we're gonna.
So all the
sit
people
down,
that
yeah.
watch the game are going to the bathroom, grabbing their cigarette, doing all that stuff, getting an extra drink,
So it's
while
the other guys.
the
Yeah.
women and all that stuff are watching the halftime show because that's what's important to them.
Stop ruining perfectly good things by saying we need women in this.
It's fine.
You're ruining games.
No, it's
You're
fine.
ruining
The game
football.
didn't get ruined.
Game didn't
This
get
is
ruined
where
by
you
that.
norm, and this
Yeah.
is what I used to always do was just leave.
Yeah.
Man, don't. No. Hold on. The whole argument is that the reason that you can't breathe on Patrick Mahomes without getting a flag is because women are watching the game and they don't like the brutality.
No.
You can say it's because they're protecting the stars, right?
I think
It's 100% what they're
Yeah, that's-
trying.
yeah.
No way, because if it was about guys, they'd rather see him get clocked.
No,
They'd rather
they're gonna
see
put
the
a lot
hits.
of money into him.
No, they don't want you to watch whatever his backup is right now. I can't even
Exactly,
think, but
yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want. It's like
You don't want to
the
bust up your
tournament,
stars. Yeah.
like the NCAA tournament. Everyone roots for Cinderella,
Sure.
but you don't want them in the top four.
right.
Your viewership tanks.
Thanks.
You want the story up to here,
Yeah,
and then you want them to die.
and then you run to the buzzsaw. Yeah.
Because you want your powerhouses to be in the top four.
And what you're saying there is that the audience wants scripted sports.
Kind of.
No
They
way.
don't want it scripted. They want it to play out,
Okay, look.
but they don't want. Now people want Mahomes to get crushed because they've seen too many
Yeah.
of the calls that he's cheating the rule. He's
Yeah.
following the rules, but taking advantage of it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So he's not following in good faith. Well, now people want to see him get smacked.
Well, now they want to see if he's actually legit. So.
Well, they know he's legit.
Well, maybe. I mean, you know, if he got his. I mean, they got drummed in the Super Bowl so hard. I mean, he's not going to have the fan base next fall. Certainly Travis Kelce won't this fall. You know.
Oh, there was one play. I don't know if you saw it.
Which one? The one where he dropped it right on his fucking feet?
There,
Yeah.
well, there's one where.
I've never heard you be like, "What an asshole!"
It's like he should have totally caught that and actually got a TD out of it, but it was just like derp. And it was like, bro, you guys are down by like 30 fucking points. I mean,
There's one where he goes out and he does like a 5-yard and just turn around. But Mahomes is like scrambling and he's running all over the place, and Kelsey just stands there.
yeah.
And then
yeah.
Mahomes actually runs by him, and he still stands there. And then he gets clobbered, and the ball kind of comes out, and he takes like 2 steps, and he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Well, you remember how? So the guys in Tecmo Bowl ran their route, and that's it.
That's exactly
That's exactly what he did. Yeah.
He literally just stopped.
He ran out of scripting.
It was done. And normally with Kelsey, he
Yeah.
joints, jinx, all this kind of stuff.
And he blocks. Yeah.
And he just stood.
He just stood there.
And it was like a 7-second play, and he just stood.
He
Just literally like watched Mahomes run by.
he timed
I
out.
was like,
Well, okay, is that more or less disgraceful than? I think that the best example of that comes from the Denver Super Bowl with Cam Newton. Cam Newton's fear to get in the pile and pick up the ball is probably the definitive moment of his career. Because you can't like rip open the Superman shirt anymore.
He even says he regrets that.
Yeah, he does.
You have to regret that. You can't defend that. It's like in hindsight, it's like, no, I was right to stay away from the pile.
Yeah.
I stand by that.
I'm glad
decision.
I lost that game.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
I asked my kids. I said, "I'm
Yeah,
going to do right."
give me the same fucking team. I'll make the same fucking decision.
Because they made it clear, if I went in that pile, they wouldn't have a dad anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I made the right call.
Yeah. I'd be in a wheelchair, and then you'd be the asshole.
But it's good to catch up with you, man. Since I'm sorry you've been gone so long.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, not this time. Coming up.
All right. I'm
Bye.
back.
I'm wrong.
Hitting the button.
May you have a great week where you don't have to talk to customer service.